True friendships means being true friendship means being true friendship means being able to be completely honest with your friends. Now, you may want to keep this in mind as far as your relationships with your parents and your children are concerned also. You don't want to get to the point where you are starting to tell them little white lies or omitting parts of the truth, because that in itself is a lie. Hi, my name is Bernard Turner. And if you have any relationships that are of any value to you, then you might find this story that I'm getting ready to tell you very interesting. I want to preface it first with a personal story about myself. Many years ago, I was involved in a horrible, horrible marriage. And there must have been something that I liked about the whole situation, as horrible as it was, because I started dating another woman outside of my marriage. And I started taking her out in public and introducing her to my friends. This is one of those times I should have kept my mouth shut. I'm in a bar in Chicago one night, and I run into a friend of mine. He begins telling me some stuff that I really would have preferred not to have heard, but he told me. And what he told me hurt so bad that I had to distance myself from him. And I distanced myself from him not only for that evening, but for the next 15 years. Now, what he told me is not that important, except for the fact that it hurt. And so I felt like he had doodled on me. Yes, I said doodle. I'm too old to stand up here and say doodle, but for lack of a more appropriate word during this video broadcast, doodle is the word I'm using. Change it if you like. Anyhow, so this gentleman had told me this stuff, and I'm angry and I'm hurt. Another friend of mine comes into that same bar and said, I'm telling him what's happening. He said, well, listen, why don't we get out of here and go someplace else? I said, great, good idea. So we left. Now, I felt like this gentleman was getting me out of some doodle, and I was thankful and appreciative towards him. Well, we went someplace else and drank. I drove home that night. We had drank so much that I fell asleep at the wheel and rear-ended another vehicle. It took me about a year to go back and reevaluate that evening. And after I reevaluated it, this is what I came up with. The gentleman who had told me the stuff that had hurt me so much, he was actually one of my best friends at the time. May have been my best, and I didn't even realize it, because he had the nerve to tell me the truth. And it cost us our relationship for 15 years. I ran into this gentleman about 2 months ago, by the way, and I was so happy to see him that I couldn't wait to tell him what I gathered about something that happened 15 years ago. With all of that said, this is the story that I came here to tell you. This is the story about two birds getting ready to fly south for the winter. They woke up in the morning. First bird looked at the second bird and said, hey, let's go. Second bird said, well, it's kind of nice outside. I think I'll wait till tomorrow. So the first bird took off. Next morning, the second bird woke up, flapped his wings, started to fly. But no sooner than he got up into the air that it started to rain. Then it started to snow. Then it got real cold, and the little bird is flying and trying to navigate his way through the storm, and he's got ice and snow gathering on his wings, and he, boom, crashed right to the ground. Poor little bird, laying there, shivering and freezing. And to make matters worse, a cow comes along and doodles on the bird. But aha, this is a good thing. You see, because the doodle is hot, and it's starting to melt the ice and the snow off the little bird's wings. So now the little bird is happy. He's making all this noise and he's struggling. He's trying to get out of this stuff, and his head is poked up through. He can see, look around and stuff. And a cat hears all this commotion, looks over to see what's happening, sees the bird, scampers over, assesses the situation, reaches in, plucks the little bird clean out of the doodle, and swallows it. End of story. Now, There are four morals to this story. First moral is pretty simple, and we all know it. Never put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Thank you. Second moral, just because somebody doodles on you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're your enemy. Third moral, just because somebody gets you out of some doodle, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're your friend. And the fourth and final moral, if you ever find yourself in some doodle and you like it, keep your mouth shut. Ladies and gentlemen, you have valued relationships. Be honest with your friends. Be honest with your parents. Be honest with your children. I'm sure you value these relationships, and I'm sure they value you. And if you practice these things that I'm teaching you, it will save you a lot of trouble in the future. And the relationship that you have now will become only closer because you got the gall to be completely honest about what it is at least you think that you know. And you're going to tell your friend. My name is Bernard Turner, and keep in mind, as always, keep them smiling. Bye.